Hello, 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 YouTube! My name is rhianaB. Welcome back to another review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 3. So for the look today, theme of the runway was wigs on wigs on wigs, so I am rocking one of the only few wigs that I own and one of the cheapest wigs you could possibly find. This is a typical Party City wig. It's not cute, I'm hating this, but I wanted to be on theme, so I'm gonna sacrifice my feeling of this wig for the sake of the video. But makeup today, it's mostly pink, only because I have the pink wig, so that's what I went for today. I'm actually happy with my look. So let's go ahead and delve on to the episode. So as always, we start off with the aftermath of the last elimination, and Thorgy went home last week, and she left a very, mixed reaction message on the mirror. She ended up drawing a penis and telling Shangela to go and suck it because she was very bitter, which okay. Now the reaction was, a lot of them were like, okay, it's a joke, it's Thorgy, da-da-da-da-da, but Kennedy did take a bit of an offense to it. My mic is not staying up. But Kennedy's reaction was that she found it kind of immature and inappropriate. She didn't like it at all. I agree with Kennedy on that front, but I'm just like, I shouldn't take it so seriously because, you know, I don't know. I was very half and half on the whole thing. We also found out that Ben also picked Thorgy to go home, so it was going to be a unanimous Thorgy vote. And then we have a build up to what is going to escalate throughout the rest of the episode, and that is the rivalry between Shangela. Okay, let me take that back. Okay, it is Shangela and Kennedy, separate ways and together at times, but it's all against Milk. Because Milk, as we know from the last two episodes, she's been highly praising herself, very high up on a pedestal, and rather cocky at times. So it's basically Shangela and Kennedy trying to kind of bring her down so that she can get off of her damn high horse. My wig is not wanting to cooperate. And that's basically the whole, plot of these enemies just battling against each other throughout the entire episode. So let's move on to the Maxi Challenge, and that is a improv parody of The Bachelor called The Bitchler, which, by the way, is I do not like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or anything associated with those shows. I find them very stupid. I do not like those shows. I've actually got into arguments with my mom about her loving The Bachelor and me loving Drag Race, and she finds this show kind of ridiculous and I find her show rather ridiculous. It's kind of like a running thing in the house. But anyway, I love the concept of the idea. It's a great way for some of these queens to shine and bring out their acting chops, especially when it's improv, because like I said last week, improv is very difficult to do. So this definitely proves who can work on the fly the quickest. So on our list, each queen has a certain characteristic that they have to do. So in teams, we've got Aja and Kennedy, and Aja is the needy girl / insecure. Kennedy is the party girl. Next team is Trixie and Milk. Trixie is the fake bitch, which perfect for Trixie. And then Milk with the stalker. Next team, BB and Ben. And BB is a virgin and Ben is the cougar, which I kind of thought, is this not a way for her to kind of redo her cougar look from her season when her and Darian did that makeup look when they're supposed to be like plastic surgery cougars? I kind of thought about that. And then final team, we have Chi Chi and Shangela, and they are the Polly and Maurice duo. I find it so hard to say that one word. Polly and... you know what I mean. And Chi Chi is more into The Bachelor, whereas Shangela is more into Chi Chi. So while they're talking about what they're going to do for the challenge, BB comes up with this idea of being an African queen, which I gotta say, I like BB and I like that she plays on her African heritage, but I feel like she uses that a lot, and I kind of wish she could do something else besides that. I feel like such... Michelle Visage saying, do you, but don't do you, you know? I feel like she just uses that a lot, and not to say that this was a perfect time to do it. I felt like it was a great idea for her to do it like this, but I just want to see more from BB. And then Aja, in her attempt to be insecure and needy, she kind of turns into Pheromone, which I can't help but laugh at because they were on the same season, and Farrah's just the perfect person to do like a whiny kind of a needy person because she just sounds like that. I love Farrah, but her voice does sound like that, and she plays on that herself. But the thing is, Kennedy doesn't see that as being something that'll work, and she even makes the comment that she doesn't really know what she's doing because that doesn't seem like the needy, insecure type of a thing. But I feel like that's also like adjectives that could be easily manipulated into being something unique to you, so that was my opinion. And then we also have Chi-Chi, bless her heart. Another theme in the episode is Chi-Chi feeling insecure. And I feel so bad for Chi-Chi. We'll get to that later, but this is kind of the tipping point of how Chi-Chi's gonna be feeling toward the end of the episode. We also have a tiny little moment of Milk kind of realizing that to get out of safe, she's gotta do more. But that whole thing about her wanting to like play it over the top, you should, because it helps you stand out, but I was questioning if she's really learning her lesson, which honestly, I don't think she is. I feel like she thinks she's not showing enough of herself, and I don't think that's true. I feel like her ego is getting in the way of her realizing that she needs to do something else other than just standing out and being over the top. I don't know. It's such a hit or miss thing with Milk. I'll get to it later, but I definitely have some very distinct opinions about Milk in this episode. So we get started with the improv challenge, and our bachelor is Jeffrey Boyer Chapman, who is in the show Unreal. Very good looking man. I can definitely see him being like the stereotypical hot bachelor type. And what was killing me was the interaction between him and Rue, because Rue was like flirting with him, and it was just so funny. So those are cute little moments there. So we have our first impression limo entrances, and first off we have BB, who I thought played the thing up so well. There's like a hair in front of my face. She played up the virgin African princess card so well. She was like bowing and giving him apples, and I was laughing. I don't think it was the best, but she definitely stuck to character, and it did work. It did work. So the hesitation I had about her earlier, that kind of went off to the side once I saw her perform. Then we had Ben de la Creme, and oh my god, she stepped out with the blurred out crotch region and super long-ish nails, like the very cougar short cut wig, and oh my god, she was being such a grown woman slut, and I was loving it. I could not stop laughing. She was just playing it up for everything. She played that character to a T. It was so good. And then next we had Trixie, who perfect embodiment of these fake bitches who come onto reality television and don't even really care about them being there. They're just there for the attention. Played that up perfectly. I loved it. I loved her look. The fact she kept calling Jeffrey's name wrong was hilarious, because that's so like a fake bitch. Then Milk didn't come out of the limo. She came out behind a shrub with binoculars. That part was funny. And then slowly it kind of got repetitive and just felt like it's the same thing over and over again. Plus, I was not particularly happy with her choice of outfit. Look, I understand you're being a stalker and you hide in bushes and you look kind of disheveled. But I would think that if you're trying to be a stalker to someone, that you're gonna look nice and act accordingly to them. And that didn't happen. Next we had Aja, and first off I was confused by the outfit. I don't know if a needy girl would dress like that or have a dog. I was very confused on the look aesthetic. And then she didn't quite play needy, at least not in the way I thought of needy. I thought it was just kind of like dying for the attention of someone else, which in a way could be needy, but it wasn't the needy that we were looking for in Aja. And then Kennedy, holy crap, Kennedy, she really surprised me. The only thing I was gonna clock her for would be her teeth. I don't like the fact she had the messed up teeth, because it just looked very weird, and I don't associate party girls with bad teeth. But other than that, the fact she had the form-fitting dress, big fake boobs, big padded butt, you know, played up the party thing to a T, had the flask in her bra, that was good. That was really good. And then next we had Shangela and Chi-Chi. Shangela was doing very well because she is an actress and she's a comedian, so she can do improv very, very well. Chi-Chi, however, was very dull, I felt like she was lost, and I couldn't tell if that was her character or if that was just her, like, her insecurities coming out through this character. And then we move on to the rest of the challenges, and by far the tops, in my opinion, were Kennedy, Ben, Shangela was good as well, and so was Trixie. The only thing with... First off with Shangela. She was basically carrying that entire scene. She was overshadowing Chi-Chi. I thought they were funny, and I was laughing at the character that she was portraying. However, it felt kind of disconnected, because the whole point was that Shangela was supposed to be into Chi-Chi. I felt her as being like a mom who was trying to get her daughter to have babies. So I was very confused about the relationship between the two. So that's the only thing I had to criticize about Shangela's performance. And then Trixie, she could have done so well, but then Milk just overperforms over Trixie. And that's a very hard thing to, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because that actually happened a lot in season 7 because she got criticized for having people overshadow her in her performances. I just hated the fact that Milk would not let Chi-Chi talk. And when Trixie did talk, she had good moments. And I just wish that Milk had just worked with her partner a little bit better. And then other than that, Aja too was just very lackluster compared to Kennedy. Kennedy was just killing it. Just the minute she took her wig off, pulled out a bottle from under her crotch, fell to the floor yelling, "I'm a man!" It's just, I was like sinking into my bed watching the episode and like laughing at the same time. It was so cringy, but it was so funny that I just found it complete comedy gold. So from the challenge, definitely the tops were Ben, Kennedy, and Shangela at times, and then the bottoms were Milk and Aja and Chi-Chi, and then BB and Trixie were kind of in the middle. So we have our little mirror moments before the runway, and again, we have this issue with Chi-Chi feeling insecure, feeling like she doesn't fit in here, and I felt just so, again, I felt bad for her, and I felt bad for her because I understand the whole insecurity thing, and I just wished that she could get herself out of it, because Chi-Chi is a fabulous queen. She is fabulous, and I really do like her. It's just that she needs to get herself out of that headspace, and I know it's not an easy thing to do, but I know she can do it because she's grown a lot since last time she was on the show. So I know she can do it. We also had a little moment with Trixie wanting to prove herself and wanting to win a challenge. And then yet again, we have the thing between mostly Kennedy and Milk rather than Shangela being in the mix, but she was involved. Basically them saying that Milk is basically going to be in the bottom, although Milk herself's like, "I did fabulous. My portrayal was fantastic. I worked so well with Trixie." And literally I'm like, girl, you think you worked well with Trixie? You think you did a better job than Ben de la Creme or Kennedy? It's just, it's hard for me to understand Milk in this season, and I love Milk. I loved her in season 6, and I was so looking forward to her being in the season, and I'm left with feeling like she is so delusional and so egotistical and so cocky that it's pushing me off, and I'm not loving Milk this season. I am not liking Milk. I don't like her attitude. I want to like her so much, but she's making it very, very difficult for me too. So we had our runway, and I am going to be looking at my phone. I'll be putting pictures up. I'll be putting up pictures for you all to see as well. First we had Ben. I liked it. The first thing I thought of when I saw her walk out was that not her rose quartz dress from season 6 in the final 5, or the top 5, I should say. And was that not the same dress? I was a little confused on if that was the same dress or not. I did think she looked cute. With the wig reveal, I thought it was cool. She had like the super long train of hair, and I thought that was really cool. And then to top it all off, a third reveal with a hair skirt, which I did not expect, and I loved that she took it to another level. She, in my opinion, was one of the tops runway-wise. Next we had BB. Okay, I am getting very, very bored with BB's runways. They are not standing out to me, and what I remember seeing in season 1, she's done a lot better than what she's showcasing in this season. It's just not blowing me away. They're beautiful, and she herself is beautiful, but they're not standing out to me. Like, I love the idea of like a blue kimono and the tearaway with the sleeves and the skirt. That's all fine. And then the reveal was a little slow, but I like it being like, it's just like a bunch of like little balls of hair, like hair balls. But again, it's not wowing me. So I put her in middle of the road. Next is Trixie. The minute she walked out, I'm like, oh my god, I'm loving this 60s, 70s vibe. Lady bunny hair. The glasses were amazing. She tears off the muumuu, she reveals herself in a shorter outfit, tears away that giant head of hair, and has like a perfect like little, almost a Twiggy bob. and she looked so cute. I loved it. She was definitely a top runway-wise for me as well. Next is Milk. I liked the dress. I love the dress. I love like paillettes or that type of material because I just love it. I've always wanted one of those paillettes purses, but I never had one when I was a kid, and I was very sad about that. I like the dress. The hair, the first bit of hair, the first wig, it's okay. I wasn't a big fan of the fact it was so orange. I kind of wished it was maybe a bright blonde or a different color than orange. I felt like it kind of clashed. But then she took it off and she had the reveal of this like almost like a I Love Jeannie type of a thing where it's like a big thing of hair on her head. And then she made it even better when she pulls out the hair from the thing, kind of like what on certain dolls you could like pull out their hair. That I thought was really, really cool. She could extend the length. So I did like that. So runway look wise, I gave Milk middle of the road, only because there was a lot better on the runway, and I'm about to get to one of my favorites, which was Aja, and totally was anime kawaii, so good. I loved like the fake Sailor Moon hair and the eyes. Like I couldn't tell if they were meant to be glasses or if it was meant to be like anime eyes because they are so big. Loved it, and she took that away, had a very neon cut or shortcut hair, really matched with the outfit, so cute. And of course then she takes that wig off and then she's got a super long purple hair after that, and I'm like, that is incredible. The only thing I wish she could have done was I wished that she had taken away a couple of the bows. I did feel like it was a little too overpowering with the bows, but overall I loved it. She was a top for me as well. Next is Kennedy. And Kennedy, okay, it's a similar issue with what I had with her in season 7, only that she didn't push the boundary when it came to her runway. She's very pageant. She is a pageant girl. We get it. Can you not do anything more than pageant? Because we have seen this style of dress so many times on her, and she always looks great, but I want to see more range in her outfits. She could still keep it pageant, but do something a little bit extra. Give it an oomph. The hair, the first wig was good, and then the last wig was good. The fact she did like a bleach shortcut thing. That middle wig was just as bad as the wig that I just took off. The fact being that it looks so shake and go, out of a bag, needed hairspray, she kept fixing it. I'm like, girl, I expect more from you. Get your wigs together. Your first and your last wig were good. That middle wig, I could not deal with it. So I'm only putting her runway on the bottom because I couldn't get over that stupid second wig and the fact that she is not doing anything that's standing out to me, fashion-wise. Next is Chi Chi. This I loved. This was probably one of my favorite looks from the runway tonight. It was so beautiful. That dress was everything. The cutouts and her face makeup in this episode was so good. I love the little fake eyelashes on the bottom. It was just so good. And then she takes off the afro and it's just this long, beautiful train of black hair. It worked so well with the outfit. I loved it. This definitely was a top runway look for me. And then finally we have Shangela playing up to her corn aesthetic, which we haven't seen in a while because she's been playing up the box thing instead of the corn thing. I found it campy, I found it cute, and I think if anyone could pull this look off, it would be Shangela. The dress was great. I loved the dress. The headpiece was fabulous. Okay, then the wig reveal. I get what she was going for. Do I think it fit on brand? Did I think it matched? Yes. Execution-wise, do not know if I love the hair all that much, but it mixed with everything else, and that's why I didn't have as much of a problem with it compared to some of the other girls. I liked the hair with the outfit worked, so for that reason I give Shangela a top. So on the top we had Ben, Trixie, and Kennedy. On the bottom we had Milk, Aja, and Chi Chi, which leaves Shangela and BB to be safe. I do agree with pretty much everything. The only thing I would say is that Aja I knew would be safe because her runway was absolutely stunning. So I felt like she would have the less likelihood to go home. And I agree with pretty much the whole layout I did agree with. So we get to deliberation. Again, Chi-Chi has a little insecure moment. I almost thought for a second she also just thought about that she was giving up, which is very un-Chi-Chi of her to do, because she has so much energy, she has so much of a drive, and I felt so bad that she was feeling so down on herself that she almost wanted to like kind of throw away to Ben and say, just send me home. And it really just broke my heart, because we all know that Chi-Chi is so fantastic, and it just, oh man, it just hurt my little heart. I just hurt my little heart. I hope that she can learn from this though, and prove to herself that she does deserve to be here, and that she is strong and all those things, because that's what she is. She is that. And then an interesting thing from Kennedy, she actually chose to not speak to anyone, which I think she even said from the get-go that she would do that. Rather than talk to people, she would rather, you know, just make her own opinion based on everything that she's seen outside of drag, you know, outside of Drag Race, inside of Drag Race, all those things. So I respect and understand her decision, but to everyone else, it kind of is like, okay, we don't know what you're thinking there, boo. And then, of course, with Milk. We're back with Milk again. Because everyone knows that she's acting very delusional. I don't want to say she is delusional. She's acting very delusional. Because, at least this time, unlike last week when she was crying about being safe, and now she's upset about being in the bottom, which is understandable. But the fact being that she said to Ben that all the girls still want me here. All the judges still want me here. It's just playing on this idea that she thinks so highly of herself that it's like she can do no wrong. That if she does anything lackluster, it never happened. And Baby, I think, made the best point in her confessional when she said that it's maybe an insecurity type of a thing rather than it just being pure cockiness. She's probably gone through a lot of stages in her career where people didn't understand her drag, didn't like it, would call her out on it a lot of the time. And because of that, it's made her put on this persona of being so high up on a pedestal and so above everyone else. Doesn't mean it's right, but that may be a reason why she thinks that way. And then, of course, one of my favorite jokes of the night was when Shangela said, you know, that someone spiked Milk's drink, and she said, did Cosby do it? Or something like that. And that just made me laugh. It was so good. But literally, I'm like, Milk, you cannot really think that you're this high and mighty. Because the minute you think that, you are going to get a slap on the wrist, your ass is going to get kicked, and you are going to be on the bottom. And turned out that's what's happening here. So let's go ahead and move on to the lip sync between Ben and Kennedy.
They're doing a lot of modern songs this season.
We ordered different drinks at the same bars. I know about what you did and I wanna scream the truth. She thinks you love the beach, you're such a damn liar.
Not much of a reveal. I mean, both their lip syncs are on point, but there's got to be more to this. For a second I thought, okay, I wish her wig was pulled up just like tiny bit up. Is she actually crying, or is that just sparkle on her face? She's been doing that a lot. Compared to the other two, it was not the best lip sync. It was kind of meh, but I think the song didn't give it much either, so. But let's see who wins. I kind of saw that one coming. I would have personally given it to Ben. She did a little bit more than Kenny did. He did besides a wig reveal. We probably picked Milk. I knew it. I knew it. I knew she was gonna go there.
So yes, Kennedy did choose Milk to go home. I can't say I'm terribly surprised because I saw this coming. Now, had Ben won the lip sync, I think she would have picked Chi-Chi because she had done the worst out of the whole run on the show. But I knew if Kennedy was going to win that she would pick Milk because they've had a couple of issues and stuff like that while they've been here. So I kind of just saw that coming. It makes me sad because I want Milk to do better because I know she's so much better than what she's been doing, and her attitude is not like this. And it just broke my heart that, you know, it's kind of ended up like this. However, we do know that the revenge thing is still a part of this. So whatever it's gonna be, Milk is gonna be back, and there is a chance she could get back into the competition. And a quick little note, I loved the little dance, I don't know if that's actually Wagon Wheel Watusi, but I love the little dance that Alaska and Chad were doing behind Milk. I just thought that was hilarious. Moving on to next week. Next week, it's the big episode. It's Snatch Game! Snatch Game is next week. I'm so excited. They didn't give any hints at all of who these queens were going to be. So it really leaves up to interpretation of who they're going to do. Are we going to have big fails like with Tatiana last season? Or are we going to have some pretty big triumphs or redemptions like what Alyssa did and what Fifi did and all that sort of stuff? So we're going to have to wait and see who people are going to choose. And also, we're going to have a special guest with Marc Jacobs. Now, that's interesting that Marc Jacobs is actually going to be a guest judge, because had he had come when Milk was still on, I wonder how he would have judged Milk, because they do have a close relationship. Milk used to work with Marc, and now he has, been a model for Marc Jacobs and all that sort of stuff. So that would have been unique. I wish I could have seen that, but obviously that's not going to happen. So there is a lot happening next week, and I'm very, very excited to see how it's going to turn out. So that is it for this review of RuPaul's Drag Race. If you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me comments down below. What did you think of the challenge, Milk's departure, her attitude, anything you want to talk about Drag Race? Leave those comments down below. I would love to read them. And if you want to see my future videos or videos I've already done, go ahead, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you can be notified when my videos come out. That's all I have for you guys today, and until the next video, bye! Mwah.